Welcome to my mixed bag of wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. As you see from the title, actually, the title that came across, and the title below. This is about Hogan and it's about Cena. I'm doing Hogan first. Look, when you see that, how can I explain this? Ooh, this is very difficult, ladies and gentlemen. Look, everybody in some form or fashion loves Hogan. There's a lot of people who hate his ass for what he did in 2010 until now because he was involved in creative. A lot of people want to bury the man for what he's done to TNA. He destroyed a very good concept from 2009 until now. He destroyed that. But you can't deny the man is still one of the most well-known and could still gross a decent number of fans. You can't. But this is not about how great he's done for the company. This is about him leaving the company. It's been reported a little after October, he left. And he may have a verbal contract with WWE where he may come back during the Royal Rumble and do a match. Maybe he'll be in the Royal Rumble match. That is speculation. There's no proof of it. But you have to admit, now with him gone, what happens to TNA? What does Dixie Carter do? Does she bring back a Jeff Jarrett to help run part of the company? I even heard that some people have been stating that another person may come in and either work with her or she may give up the company in total. I can't remember the guy's name. His first name is Bill. Don't know why I'm blanking on his last name. But when you see this, you wonder what's going to happen with TNA now that so many changes have been done and so much bad crap has been put on the product. Who wants to keep watching this product? Particularly now that one of the most strongest draws they had, no matter how much you hate the man, or you thought he was way over the hill, or you thought he was still good, made no difference. Hulk Hogan's name brought something to the company. How do I feel about it? I'm actually glad Hogan is gone. I know Bishop is possibly still there, or he's also left. I think he's still working at TNA right now. The problem I see is this. Both these men use a mentality similar to the WWE and WCW. If Hogan comes back, or if Bischoff is still there, Bischoff needs to leave and Hogan needs to stay away. The very thing that made TNA completely an alternative was completely stripped out after 2010. The six-sided ring was the most different and most innovative thing they've done in wrestling in years. But since they stripped it out, the question is, would they bring it back? Would they bring back King of the Mountain? Would they bring back many of the concepts that made TNA totally different, that wasn't always pleasing every fan, but did do something different? This is what comes down to it. Hogan really made a big mess of what happened. This is where I get frustrated when I think about Immortal. You see him botching. When I think of Immortal, I get mad. As much as I love Hulk Hogan, I grew up during the era of Hulk Hogan. My favorite wrestler wasn't Hulk Hogan, it was Mr. Bob Backlund. But still, the second favorite wrestler was a Hulk Hogan. But I think of what he's done with Eric Bischoff, and I see how much was lost. Look at what happened. They got rid of Jay Lethal, the Pope. They forced basically Matt Morgan to leave because they were doing absolutely nothing with him. Matt Morgan was a possible franchise player, and they drove him away because they had no idea what to do with the man. Look at the knockouts. Angelina Love is gone. Come on. Awesome Kong right now, who went to WWE, who's currently working, I believe she's still working in China, one of the other female wrestling promotions. They could have brought her back. No matter if you like Tara at all, she was one of the most oldest wrestlers they had that had good ability, decent talking on the mic, and had a decent character. No matter if she stayed in mid-card or was in the main event, if you liked it or not, you needed people like that, particularly with Lady Tapper right there in TNA, and she's working with Gail Kim. I've already said in my Impact reviews, it doesn't matter if you like Gail Kim, if you don't like Gail Kim, if you think she's a box fest, she can't talk right. She's the oldest knockout they have, the oldest female wrestler who has the ability to talk, who has the ability in the ring, who could teach Lady Tapper something. Who would I rather have? I'd rather have a Tara or Mickey Jane teach her what to do. Not a Gail Kim, but she's the only one left. This is where things have gone wrong for TNA. They pretty much got rid of so many concepts. And they have done so much like WWE. They completely destroyed most of their divisions. The X division was almost a main staple. It's completely shattered, along with the six-sided ring. The tag titles are shattered. The only interesting team we have left is Bad Influence. And they're working with Joseph Park and Eric Young. If you didn't see my rant on my Impact, go take a check of it. You see how angry and how much I botched because I was that angry. Look, at this moment, Dixie Carter has a huge opportunity. This tournament she's doing is actually a great thing. I said it myself. Possibly bring AJ back right when that person wins the title will be the right thing to do. But what goes on beyond that going into Genesis? What are you going to do in 2014? I've already heard the rumors where they're going to go right back to Orlando and go back into the Impact Zone because it's cheaper. And it seems to be much more easier than running on the road. TNA made so many big mistakes, but they did the right thing going on the road and promoting themselves. The best option for a best case scenario that I believe, TNA doing 6 months out of the year at Orlando and 6 months out of the year for the road. This is what I believe they will do. Do I want that? No. If they have to stay in one location, I would say 3 to 4 months at a time, they stay at Orlando. And then they go off periodically to different places. And then they come back. Go off for 4 to 5 months and then come back to Orlando for 3 months. Go off for 45 months and come back to Orlando for 3 months. I believe that would be the best case scenario for a company that really doesn't know how to manage the money very well. Don't know how to manage the talent very well. And it's obvious that Dixie Carter really isn't very great in the business yet. I mean, she's been with them how long? 5 years? She may now be getting into her own, but the company was, and I know the company was not big years ago. It was growing. But now they're stagnant. So this is the best case scenario after Hogan's left. Now here's John Cena. Let's be really honest here. Not everyone likes Cena because of the character development. That's the problem here. The character development for Cena has always been the problem. Has always been the major problem that everyone hates. People just can't stand that he's always a good guy and he's never switched to bad. At my point, I always thought it was Cena's fault, but it's not. Part of it is his own decision. Yes, he had to make the choice. If you look at Goldberg's shoot video that's on YouTube right now where he talks about, I think it was from August 3rd, 2013. And he talks about the different things that are going on in wrestling that he has seen a little bit. And how he felt remorseful what happened with Bret Hart. And why he left the business and why he came back. John Cena is a lot like Goldberg in the respect that he cares about his fans. He loves them. The reason Goldberg came back was because of the fans, not because of the money. He did make some money, but this is what he stated. Goldberg is more of a type of person just going to tell you how it is, like a Mick Foley and a Matt Striker. If you didn't see my video on Matt Striker is pretty much an honest, straightforward guy. John Cena is the same thing. He tells you exactly how he feels, and he wants to be a face. So the company could force him to be heel, but they see that it's a safer bet to keep him face. And that's the reason why he's like that. And they keep it towards kids. That's the reason why the character development has no layers. But you cannot deny that John Cena has done a great job for the company and for a whole bunch of charities. Now, getting to John Cena being a world champion, it's the best thing. Daniel Bryan needs to have the world title scene. Hell, CM Punk could get the title scene after him. But they're not going to get anywhere as long as John Cena is in the main title. Having him in the secondary title is the best option. For the simple fact, by having him there, we will have more opportunities for someone to come up. A Damien Sandow who got nailed by John Cena, even though he killed him in the beginning of Raw last week, because this is done on Saturday. He killed him in the beginning of Raw, but he still lost to him. So he won, but he lost. But while John Cena is not in the main title scene, you could raise up a Damien Sandow. You could raise up a Cody Rhodes. You can raise up so many people without him having to move away from the position he's at. He's still the face of the company, even if he's holding the second title. And this gives anyone else the ability to come in and win the world title, so they'll have something to work with when John leaves. Because look, I'm going to be honest to you. John Cena's staying there for at least another 8 years. At least 8 years. He's about 36 or 37 years old by now. I think he's at least 36 years old. But he's not leaving until his mid-40s. Let's be honest, he's leaving around the time maybe The Undertaker's going to leave in the next year or two. Undertaker's going to eventually retire. We know this. So they got to get the next guy ready now. Because John Cena, how many times has he been injured and he comes straight back? Doesn't mean it's a good thing. I still say he should have stayed out 6 months. Could have gave him some time to rest and have more time for himself to work with his relationship with Nikki Bella. No matter if you care about Total Divas or not, the man already had a divorce from his first wife, and it had to be because of the business. So he's trying to build a life with this woman right now who's also a wrestler. Does not mean it's going to work just because he's a world champ. They need more. So he needs time to stay away from the business to really get something for himself. He needs rest. He needs time to reflect on his life. Being on the go doesn't make it always work. And you will see in the next couple of years that problem's going to crop up again. But when you see it from the perspective I'm seeing it, this is a perfectly good thing. As long as John Cena stays in the world title scene, it'll leave the WWE title open for anyone that they realize must be built up. So John Cena, even Randy Orton, when he retires, it will give them someone to go next to. Because if anything happens to either one of those guys, the only person left that can do something is Triple H. And Triple H is already in his mid-40s, nearing 50. He's nearing the point where he has to go and manage the company. Vince is going to stay around for maybe another 5 years or so, maybe more. But still, Triple H, Paul Levesque, is eventually going to take care of the company. He's not going to be able to do the business directly anymore. Sooner or later he's going. So they must get things started now for the future. And this is my assessment of Hulk Hogan leaving TNA and John Cena getting the title. And this is my mixed bag of wrestling. Subscribe and comment to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a thumbs up. I'm hoping soon to do another video on a debate of the week. I don't know what it's going to be on, but I'm hoping to do it soon. And anyone who's into Minecraft, Minecon is out right now, day 1. You can look for the live stream. Just write Minecon day 1 live stream. I've been looking at it. I also like Minecraft. If you don't like it, I understand, but take a look at it. You'll see the developers. I'm waiting for the Minecrackers. If anyone knows that, I'm waiting for them. So I'm not going to be watching day 1 unless they're going to be there. Have a good day.